They fined me $3,000 for my rescue dog's barking. $3,000? For a dog who'd been through more pain than most people could imagine. When I got the notice from the HOA, I thought it was a joke. Max had been timid, anxious, and barely made a sound when I first brought him home from the shelter. But after a few months, he began to bark. Not out of aggression, but because he was finally learning to feel safe again. The letter came in a thick white envelope with a golden seal and far too many words like violation, penalty, and enforcement action. I remember standing in my driveway, staring at the paper while Max sat beside me, his head tilted like he could sense something was wrong. I tried to appeal. I called the HOA office, wrote letters, even showed them videos of Max's progress, how he used to flinch at every sound but now wagged his tail and barked when I came home. They didn't care. They said rules are rules, and if I didn't pay within 30 days, they'd begin foreclosure proceedings. That's when things turned from ridiculous to cruel. I was already behind on my bills. The pandemic had hit me hard, and freelance work wasn't coming in like it used to. I'd been skipping meals some nights just to keep the lights on. The thought of losing my home over my dog's healing process felt like a nightmare. What the HOA didn't know, though, was that 2 weeks earlier, I'd received a letter from a law firm in Texas. My grandfather, whom I barely remembered, had passed away and left me his mineral rights. Apparently, he'd invested in some land decades ago that turned out to be sitting on a small fortune of natural gas. When the appraisal came in, the lawyer told me the rights were worth roughly $2.3 million. I almost dropped the phone. So when the foreclosure papers arrived, loud and dramatic, landing on my granite countertop at 6 a.m, I couldn't help but laugh. Thunk. That's the sound those papers made. It was the sound of poetic justice. That same countertop was where I'd fed Max breakfast every day for 8 months. Every morning he'd sit patiently, as I poured kibble into his bowl and whispered, to him like he was a person. I'd watch him slowly overcome his fears. The same fears that once made him bark at shadows. The same fears that earned me a $3,000 fine. When I looked at him that morning, tail wagging, eyes bright, I realized something. The HOA didn't just underestimate me, they underestimated everyone they thought they could bully. Patricia Henderson, the HOA president, loved to throw her weight around. She'd fine people for having the wrong color, mailbox, or parking too close to the curb. Everyone feared her, but not me. Not anymore. I took a deep breath, made myself a cup of coffee, and called my lawyer. "Go ahead and pay the fine," I said, "and then buy the entire HOA board lunch from the nicest restaurant in town. Put it on my new account." The next week, I walked into the